Okay, guys, I'm officially starting. Welcome to this morning's Saturday team training. My name is Danny McDaniel, if you're brand new, and I'm your host for today's Zoom, along with our newest senior presidential director. And for those of you that are new, that's the highest rank in the company. You know, there's different ranks in the company. That's company lingo that you'll learn, and it starts at manager, and then there's something called director, and then senior director, and then executive director, then presidential director, and then there's senior presidential director. And we have a brand new senior presidential director this week, Donnie Anderson, who's joining me on the Zoom. And I told him to wear a green shirt because I was wearing a green shirt. Donnie, are you unmuted?
Hey, good morning, Danny, and good morning, everyone. Glad to be with you.
I actually didn't tell you to wear a green shirt, but we're here.
It just happens to be my favorite color.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad we're both in green today. They can spot us really easily. Thanks for joining me, Donnie.
Yeah,
Congratulations on hitting that new rank. Just tell everybody real quick, what just give them a 60-second to 2 minutes, story of what you saw here and what's happened.
great. Well, first of all, I didn't plan on being here. I was retired. I'd been with another network marketing company for 20 years, and I'm still affiliated with them, but I've been retired for 3 years. Had a kidney transplant 2.5 years ago, and I just didn't feel like doing anything else. But anyway, I retired, and then Mark Delgado introduced this technology to my wife, and I happened to be there listening. And she had a wellness issue she needs to get fixed. So Mark signed her up as a brand partner, and when she did that, I started digging the cover back and looking at the company, the technology, the product, and everything. And I decided that I couldn't pass it by. I've been in positions about three different times in my life where major things were presented to me, and I was fortunate enough to take advantage of them. And every time I took advantage of those three different opportunities, our socioeconomic scale went up. And this was the fourth time that I had been presented something or that I saw that made just total sense to me. I looked at my wife and I said, "Okay, I'm gonna come out of retirement. Doggone it, we just can't pass it by. We didn't need the money. We'd earned many millions, and had a great retirement income. So, but anyway, that's why I'm here, and that's my story. By golly, and I'm gonna stick to it. And I'm proud to be here and excited. And I see one of my friends on the first page also. I told him I'd stick my tongue out at him, Mr. Steve Fisher. Hey, Steve. He's one of the people that help push me to the top every time. It's not about me. Okay, Danny.
Well, congratulations. And, it's great to have you on here today because I know you're a master of fundamentals. In fact, the book right behind your right shoulder, is called A Blueprint. And, that's obviously a blueprint for success in direct selling. And so just hold that up for a second, Donnie, and tell these guys how easy it is to get that book. This is a 100-page book that'll teach you how to be successful in network marketing. Donnie has made millions and millions of dollars. That doesn't mean you're going to make millions because he and I can't promise you a dime, but we can promise you the blueprint. So Donnie, tell them.
Yeah. Hey, this blueprint is right now #2 on Amazon. #3, it was on #2, and I think it'll go to #1. But this is a little book. All seven of my books are 100 pages, and that's on design, but by design. It's a little book, but it's got some big, big stuff in it. I researched leaders for 30 years in this business, and I've chalked it all in this book. I'm basically saying, learn what successful people do that others don't do. And these are successful people that I've captured and I've put it in writing. This is what they do that the most of the people don't do. You can get it on Amazon or Barnes and Noble. Donnie Anderson. Thank you, Danny.
That's awesome, Donnie. Okay, guys. Well, now we're going to get into the training for today. And hopefully by the end, you guys are going to have, some foundational principles that are going to help you with your business. And I'm going to start out with telling you a little bit about what happened to Diane and I 2 years ago. Right now, I think today's August 2nd. And this is actually really the exact day that we decided we were going to start working this as a business. We had been on the patch for 8 months, and we had seen family members and some close friends get radical results, miraculous results on the patch, including our own results. And after 8 months, we looked at each other and we're like, how? It was like, I'm looking at Diane, she's looking at me, and we're like, how can we not do this? How can we not share this with the world? And so we started working it 2 years ago today. So on this 2-year anniversary, I make this phone call to my sponsor, Andy Hosier, because we were already brand partners. I didn't want to be a customer 8 months prior. I told Andy the day we signed up, I said, Andy, I don't want to be a customer. I want to get these wholesale. And in case I ever want to work the business, I already want a business spot going in case business grows underneath me. And so at the 8th month mark, which is 2 years ago today, when I called him and asked him how much money he was earning, and he told me what the earnings of people above him, what they were earning. And I was like, oh my goodness, let's go, let's work. Okay, now I'm setting you up for this. Diane and I are ready to go because we heard the stories. And you would think, because we had had a lot of success in the business, we had been in another company for 22 years prior to that, and had taken $130, no credit cards, no one to borrow money from, and built a business that basically paid us, over 45 million in 22 years. I'm not boasting. I'm just telling you the story, because this ought to set you up for something. You would think I don't need any advice. I don't need anyone to tell me what to do. I've made millions in this industry, but that wasn't my first question to Andy. I had a question for Andy, and you know what it was? Andy, I'm ready to go. What do I do? And that's when I got the answer. Here was the answer that I got. Danny, what you need to do is this. You need to print out 3 sheets. They're called manager, director, and senior director. And he said that's your blueprint. That's your blueprint for success here. And he goes, it's really a 90-day plan. And I'm going to pull that up and cover that and go over a little bit of that with you on the front end, so you understand the power of that, because that is exactly what Andy did with me. So basically, we'll just start right here. He said, print this out. You want to get to manager. He goes, Danny, that's 2 people on the right and 2 people on the left. He goes, you have a binary. And so if you're brand new, we have a binary compensation plan. So in how to build a business, you're going to build it by placing people that you enroll on your outside right team and your outside left team. And you're going to understand that clearly as you watch some of the trainings we're going to point you to, because you can't learn everything this morning. But he said, enroll your first 2 people, 2 on the right and 2 on the left. Doesn't matter how you do it. Just get your first 4 people, 2 on the right, 2 on the left, that enroll at the core level or above. That's 3 sleeves of X39 or above. Advanced is 6 sleeves, or premium is 20 sleeves. So get them to enroll, and they become active, which means they're going to get on a 1 sleeve or 2 sleeve auto ship, which is incredible that's the only overhead we have in our business. You can have a world-class business here for $200 of overhead. That's unparalleled. That's unheard of in the world that we live in. I told someone the other night in a meeting, told our group the other night in a meeting, that I think the only place you can get less than $200 of overhead is in a 3rd grade lemonade stand out on the corner. But other than that, you're not going to find a business in America with less than $200 of overhead. And we've got that. So this is really powerful. So you have to think like a business person. You can't look at 2 sleeves of auto ship and go, oh my goodness, am I going to be able to afford this? No, you're going to get the sleeves paid for, and you're going to use those sleeves or sell one of the sleeves, and you've got a business on your hands that allows you to get paid weekly. So 2 on the right, 2 on the left that are active. That's manager. And then what you do is, and what that does is that allows you to earn up to $1,500 a week in the binary as just one of the ways that we get paid. Okay, so you see manager on the left there. And then we have trainings on this in the back office where they're going to get more detail, but I'm just giving you the flyover right now, the blueprint. He said, secondly, you need to become a director. So getting that blueprint filled out is you need to help now out of these people right here, out of those 4, help them get started with their business and help them create managers. And so if you only had 2 people out of those 4 that you help create managers out of them, then you're going to become a director. So you're going to help someone on your right team become a manager. You're going to help someone on your left team become a manager. You're not going to give them anything. You're going to give them your support, your help, your leadership, but it's their warm market. It's their friends and family. It's their people they want to talk to. As they bring them in, they're going to put 2 on their right and 2 on their left. You help them qualify for manager. You're going to become a director. That will allow you to earn up to $2,500 a week in the binary. Doesn't mean you're going to earn $2,500 a week right off the bat. It just maxes out at $2,500 a week. That's $10,000 a month. Okay, so the next step is senior director, and that's just the duplication process. And that's helping 2 of your directors now, 2 of your managers get to director. So if you create 2 directors, which is just a simple duplication process, you're always thinking, how can I help you get to manager? I've got to get to manager. Now, how can I help you get to manager? Then how can I help them get to manager? How can I help you get to manager? How can I help them get to manager? So it's always, you're starting to become a manager making machine. It's just 2 on the right, 2 on the left, help everybody duplicate those processes. And you create the structure in your business that allows you to get that particular structure in that lays the foundation for a business like Donnie has, where he just hit senior presidential director. And so it allows you to earn up to $3,500 a week as a senior director. And you do the math there, that's $14,000 a month, just in that one form that we earn money. But Donnie just hit senior presidential director. So let me just go over those next 3 ranks. The next 3 ranks, there's no structure required. So after you get that senior director structure like this right here, after that's in, everything's based on the volume of your team. So everything underneath you and that whole root system that you've been building by helping people get to manager, you become a manager making machine, so to speak. Your next step is executive director. And that means if you have $50,000 a month of volume on your sales team, which at that point, you're going to be surprised. It's, that kind of volume is going to be there after senior director because of, the people that are involved. That $50,000 a month, that's divided by 4. That's $12,500 of volume per week, minimum, that allows you to hit senior director, executive director. And you can earn up to $7,500 a week in your binary. And then presidential director requires $100,000 of volume a month on your team, which is $25,000 a week on your team. And that goes up to, pays you up to $12,500 a week. And then senior presidential director requires $200,000 of volume per month on your team. And that's what Donnie and his wife, Susan, just hit this last week on Sunday, 6 days ago on Sunday night, $200,000 of volume in a month. That's $50,000 a week of sales volume on their team of managers, directors, and senior directors. And that flows up, that volume flows up to them, and you can earn up to $25,000 a week in the binary. So that's your blueprint. And that's what you have to think about here. I've got to start being a manager making machine. And so how do I do that? And Donnie, you're welcome to interrupt me at any time. I want to say one more thing about that and help everybody understand how we're going to do that before we move on. But I want to give you guys the confidence of knowing, okay, well, where do I put people, right or left? Well, it's real simple. Okay, you're gonna sign into your back office. So when you go to lifewave.com, here's me, here's my ID number. I'm going to sign in. And when I sign in, when you sign in, here's how easy it is. You have your name up here at the top. So here's my name. I'm going to click on change settings. And when I click on change settings, I'm going to scroll down, and there is a place right here that says, what is your binary placement preference when you begin sponsoring?
You're not sharing. I'm
not sharing? Thank you for saying that.
Okay. We can hear you, we just couldn't see it.
That's a necessity. So I'm going to back up. I'm backing up, guys. I messed up. Thank you, Donnie. Okay, so you log in, Here you are. You logged in your back office. When you do, your name's at the top right here. You got to click on your name. And when you go to click on your name, you click on change settings. After you click on change settings, a new screen will pop up and you'll scroll down and it'll say, what is your binary placement preference when you begin sponsoring new members? You'll have build left, build right, and strong leg outside. This is a default. Don't ever worry about that again. You don't need to ever even use that. All you need to use is build left, build right, because I'm going to put people on my left or put people on my right, and they will fall on the outside right, outside left. That is all you ever do. Don't ever use any other way to try to figure out any other way to put someone in your organization. So you're either just going to, when you enroll them, they're going on your left or your right, and they'll drop down to the bottom of your tree. And then everybody builds that way, and it creates massive root systems if you build it correctly. It automatically saves. Like when I click build right, you see that green box says it's automatically saved. That's all I got to do. But I'm going back to build left. That's where my settings are right now. And that's how I would help people get to manager, director, or senior director. Okay, Donnie, anything before we need to move on this morning?
Yeah, I want to make one comment here. Invariably, what you teach people about not worrying about it, sometimes they will sponsor a new brand partner and realize they put him on the wrong side.
Yeah.
And you can correct that if you get in touch with customer support, but you've got 5 days to do it. If you don't do it in 5 days, you can't correct it. So just remember that. It will happen to you or your team. So just be aware of that, okay? You got 5 days to correct it.
It will happen. And it's preferably, you call or email, but preferably call it in and get it done. Don't depend on email. Call,
Yeah.
make the phone call.
Right.
Okay, guys. So Donnie, let's take them into how to get started. And I want you to just start talking. And if there's slides that apply, I'm going to show them. And if not, I want you to really just train on, what you're doing with people. You've been crushing it. You're building a team. So how do you get someone started in this business besides the blueprint that we just went over?
Well, listen, Danny, when I see all of these bullet points here, it reminds me throughout my business career, uh, I've already mentioned that my wife and I own 5 businesses throughout our time. And every time I had to evaluate a business to see if it was a good fit for me. And every one of them had been highly successful. But these are some of the things I looked at. The fact that we have a proprietary patented product that is unheard of in the franchises that I bought. There's competition everywhere. The fact that it's highly consumable. One of the first thing I always looked at in evaluating a business is what's the product and what is the market demand for that product, and then what is the competition. And there's always you've always got a lot to go over when you're trying to figure out the market demand. But here's something that there is no competition, and the sky's the limit as far as the market demand goes. Everybody in the world can use this. This company's got a solid performance. I mentioned this the other night. It might interest you to know that 90% of the businesses that start up today will close their doors. It's shocking that 70% of them will close it within the first 5 years. So it's really important when you're evaluating and you want to be successful is to hook your wagon to somebody that's going to be here for the long haul. And this company's already been here 20 years. That was real important for me. And not getting with the startup. It's a proven duplicatable system. That's real important. And that's proven by where I've been in life. I was attracted to the franchise community because a franchise is nothing more or less than a company that's been developed and it's been proven that it can be profitable if you will follow their system. And we have a system that is so duplicatable that, golly, you don't really have to do a lot of thinking. All you need to do is learn how to go to skool.com or click on your app, and by golly, everything will be provided for you. I've never seen a company, whether it's in commercial world or certainly in network marketing, that provides the tools that Danny and LifeWave do for us. It's unbelievable. It takes the guesswork out of it. So that's some of the things I thought on that when we saw that slide. And yeah, Danny, this is the page right here. If I can just get people to understand how important this page is, if I can just get them to go in and collect their own knowledge, it's all here. People call me all the time, say, Donnie, what about this and this? And I said, have you been to school? No. Okay, uh, I'll go find it for you. But really and truly, as a business owner, you need to go to school. There's everything, the basic training before you get started, the navigation tips on the compensation plan, how to talk to people. Oh my goodness, that's one of the biggest things in the world. We can teach everybody all day long the basics, but then you gotta help them understand what to say and how to say it and how to present it to people. So this is incredible. I call this my toolbox, Danny.
Yeah. It
You know,
really is. So guys, if you're brand new, this is an hour training today, but you can't, it's going to take more classroom. It's going to take more on the job training for you to get really equipped. We're trying to get you off to a right foundational start and point you toward things, but this is where you go. You go to school and you watch the first few trainings on before you get started so that you really understand how you should be launching your business. And after that, here's the basic training that's
wow.
that's broken up into segments for you. And so
Uh,
you're just watching those one segment at a time. And then there's navigation tips for new brand partners, like how do I go into change settings? How do I upgrade someone in an enrollment kit? What's a Facebook tutorial? How do I work the 2020 principle in the binary to go to manager, director, and senior director? All those are there for you, and they're at your fingertips. And then every basic training we have, every Saturday, they're all recorded right here. And then how to talk to people, like Donnie said, comp plan trainings. How do you earn money here? Well, there's a 30-minute comp plan version, there's an hour comp plan version, and then there's an incredible training right here that's how can I earn X amount of dollars per month? So if you're interested, if you're saying, well, okay, I want to teach me, how can I earn $600 a month right now? Well, that's addressed in that training. How can I earn $5,000 a month in the next 6 months? That's addressed in this training. So you got to appreciate the classroom and begin to use it, because you're also going to have a testimonial library, which we're going to show you how to use, which is all these testimonies of people, and including a YouTube library with testimonials as well. So when you pull up that, you're going to have these to refer to, where you can take one or two of these and copy and paste them and send them to your loved one, to your friend, whoever that might be. And then you have doctors' testimonials as well. The same kind of library, but it's doctors. You have ladies X39 presentations, team Zoom recordings from Sunday night, all your forms, presentations, and downloads. This is where you print out your manager form. This is where you print out your director form and senior director form. It's where you print out your goal sheet. It's where you print out a daily method of operation task sheet. All those things are there. Even these slides, the slides we're showing you today. The keynotes and PowerPoints, basic training. You can print out all of these slides today that we train you on, because they're there for you in forms, presentations, and downloads. And it just keeps going on and on. There's just so much stuff that you have accessible to you if you dive into school, get into the classroom, and then know the calendar of events. Okay,
hey,
so
Danny,
yes.
Danny, it's important for everyone to know, especially the new people. There's only one way you can get to the classroom. I mean, to school. It's not designed for everybody in the world to go to SKOOL. It's only for brand partners, and you have to be approved to be a brand partner. So it's urgent that you teach all of your new people. The first thing they do is go to championmakers.com. That's what Danny's got up here. And once you go to championmakers.com, you've got to complete priority one or step one and step two. Uh, and that will get you on the text chain from from Danny and everyone on our team, uh, so that you're updated on communication all the time. And then it will also, once you complete step two, it will allow you to use the school. And that's what we were just looking at. And then there's other things on like how to get started and so forth and so on. But you can't get to school unless you go to championmakers.com.
Yep. And just so you guys know, we do have to validate that. And because we don't let everybody in, we only let our team members in. But we also have a German school. We have, and we have a Spanish school. So if you've got people in Europe, which we do have, we have a Swiss team. We created a German school for that. And we have a Spanish team. So we created a Spanish school for that. Those are all free. You just got to enroll. Okay. So now we're going to go to some of these slides today about in regards to you getting started. And Donnie and I, if we cut these first slides, we're just going to brush on them today because there's trainings on this. But you must establish a why. You got to figure out what's burning inside of you that's going to cause you to be teachable, be coachable, watch the classroom, watch the videos, get trained on the videos, and then implement those things. And I don't, we could spend 10 minutes on this today, but we don't have time for that today. You've got to watch the training on it to capture the essence and the importance of how important this why is. Because your why when you have a why, a strong why, you will establish a definitive purpose. And if you have a definitive purpose, you will establish a definitive plan of action. And then you will establish a daily method of operation, which we'll cover, and you can produce specific results. But if you don't have a definitive purpose, you will have no plan of action, you'll have no daily method of operation, and you may not get the results you want. And if you're not getting the results you want, it's because you don't have a daily system, it's because you don't have a clear plan, and it's because you really don't have a definitive purpose. So everything points back to your why and your definitive purpose, okay? So then we got to set goals. Donnie, tell these guys why they got to set goals.
Hey, look, a goal is just like your roadmap. If you want to know where you're going to go, you got to set the goals. Great leaders set goals, and they achieve those goals. They work hard and they stay focused on them. The 30 days and the 90 days and 365 days, you should set those goals and make it part of your vision. That's where you want to go. And I hope it's your first goal is to go to manager if you're brand new. But setting goals is really, really, really important. And I couldn't build my business without setting goals.
That's exactly right. And we make a list because Donnie's been doing this for 30 years. Donnie and I have been doing this for 28 years. If we could like take a sledgehammer and beat you over the head this morning and pound something into you, this is probably what it would be. I would never forget my sponsor 28 years ago when I got into direct selling said, Coach, you need to make a list. Coach, you need to make a list. And I was like, I wasn't listening to a word he said, and I didn't care what he said. And it wasn't until about 3 weeks in that I finally realized, you know what? I got to write these names down. I actually do. And when I wrote the names down, it made all the difference. Okay. So here's where, and Donnie, I'm going to need you to interrupt me here and help me with this too, because I think this is, well, I don't think I know. This is where a lot of people that are new struggle on who fits in what category. How do I talk? Do I talk about the patch first? Do I talk about the business first? How am I going to approach these people? Blah, blah, blah. Well, if you make a list the right way, this is going to help you, because 85% of your list many times could be just people who are going to get on the patch first. It's hey, let me try the product. But then in the follow-up system, in the follow-up process, you're going to drip testimonies. You're going to get them out of the classroom off of YouTube, and you're going to show them a new testimony. Like you may see a testimony on a Wednesday night Zoom and go, oh my goodness, Sherry needs to see this. And you take the little 3-minute recording, and after it's posted on school, and you drip that. So I was just thinking about you. I think you're going to love this testimony of this person because it might relate to them. The testimonies don't always have to be perfectly lined up, meaning we're not trying to cure every disease, because sometimes you may have somebody that has a specific organ that you wish, okay, do you have any testimonies about this organ? And the odds are probably yes. But if not, find things that are, just in that similar and send it to them. It works because they're life-changing testimonies. And
Danny,
go ahead, Donnie.
hey, listen, over the years, Steve Fisher and I we would always teach when making that list. Look, you never know what someone's going to have in what timing is in their life, so you can't prejudge somebody. But you can kind of sort through that list and make your priorities as to who you're going to contact first about the business and then the products. We used to teach people, look at that list and put a check mark besides everybody on that list that you know is an entrepreneur. Go back down that list and put a check mark besides everybody on that list that you know that they keep their options open.
Yeah.
Go back down that checklist and put a check mark besides everybody you know that can afford to come into the business if they want to. And when you get through putting the 4 or 5 check marks that we put on them, you look at the list, and all of them that got 4 or 5 check marks, they go at the top of the list. The other ones bounce down below the list. We're going to get with them, but we urgent now. We want to build a business and we want to build it as fast as we can. So we're going to go with those that we think are prime candidates for what we do in the business and the product, especially the business. That's kind of how we treat that list, Danny.
Yeah.
We,
And
yeah.
what's special is, like, I'll give you an example. We've got a guy on our team, and his name's Mike and Kathleen Sanchez out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Mike, I think they're in their early 70s, and they got involved about 8 weeks ago now. Well, in the first 6 weeks, they earned $3,700 in
Wow.
this business and earned an all expense paid vacation to Cancun for a 5-star luxury vacation. And when Mike talked to me, this may not be exactly perfect, but I believe this is the story, that he wasn't, after 6 weeks, all he did was go to his phone and he started on the A's and he wasn't even to F yet. So he hadn't even gotten to F on his list. And that's just how he chose to do it.
Yeah.
But that's the power of, he saw a list mentality. He saw the list in his phone. So you can categorize these people, and there's people that buy into you. There's people that, like, if you knew there was a gold mine in Montana and you had 1,000 acres and that was your land, and you knew the gold was there and all you had to do was dig for it, you would be taking the people that were closest to you in life and going saying, I've got 1,000 acres in Montana and it has got massive reserves of gold on it, and every bit you dig up with me, you can have. I mean, that's what you do in life. You're not
Uh-huh.
going to go tell a bunch of strangers to come to Montana with you and dig for the gold. You're going to bring your closest buy-in people with you to come dig for the gold. So you've got to talk to them with that kind of passion and set them up so that you can get them, invite them to a Zoom or get them on a 3-way phone call with your mentor or your support team. And that's how it works, because you're going to have a support team. Every one of you that get enrolled, I want we don't say need a lot, but here's one thing you need to do. You want to do. You want to have access to the 3 working brand partners above you. Your sponsor hopefully is a working brand partner. If they're not, you can bypass them. But who's number 1 working brand partner above you? Get their names and phone number. Get their phone numbers. Who's the next one above them that's working the business? Get their names and phone numbers and meet them. Who's number 3 above them? Get their names and phone working, the names and phone numbers of them, and work with them, because you want at least access to at least three support team members above you, husband and wife or single, whoever it is, that can help you build your business. It can help you with 3-way phone calls, help you with even private Zooms sometimes, and help you answer questions and all those various things. Okay. Anything, Donnie, before we move
No,
on?
that's spot on.
Okay, guys, we'll just touch on this because it's still here. It's probably the last time I'll use it, but this week, if you're new, Next Level Convention. We're still trying to get people to go to the convention, because next week, August 8th through 10th, this is worth just dropping everything and going. If you're brand new, it couldn't be more perfect timing for you. You might be thinking, well, that would have been good 6 months ago, but really the perfect timing is now if you're brand new, because this is what happened to me and Diane on August 2nd, 2 years ago. Andy, after he told us about these 3 things, he said, the next thing is, Danny, he goes, man, I know it's soon, but our team convention's in Tampa on August 18th. And you probably really need to get to Tampa. And so I go, okay, I'm going to Tampa. And that was, 2.5 weeks out. And well, you know what Dinah and I did? We started calling everybody like the Montana Gold Story. And we said, you got to get to Tampa with us. And we had like 14 people go to Tampa with us that we had called since August 2nd. And that's how you do it. Because why? Because we found the gold. We knew we wanted to get them to Tampa for the convention because that's where they were going to discover the gold also that we were going to share. And so this is this week, August 8th through 10th. It's Friday. It starts on Friday evening, the 8th, if you're brand new, and ends on Saturday night on the 9th. And there's an optional church service on Sunday. And so go to thisisitconvention.com and get enrolled. Okay, last shot this week. Okay. So that's over with. How to get started. Next things, arm yourself with training. Donnie, let's go back to you real quick on you got a brand new person. Okay. You got a brand new person in this business. What are you telling them?
Okay.
Their why and their goals.
Yeah, their why and their goals, but I really express the why. The why is so important, and don't overlook that. Okay, it's important for all of us. I did a big study on the why, and there's a certain group in our population today called pentamillionaires. That is simply a millionaire that's gone up 5 times a millionaire. And I did a big study on that, and what I found was that they were not striving to become the pentamillionaires because they wanted more wealth. They were doing it for a specific reason. They had a why that was so big they couldn't walk away from it. So that's why they become pentamillionaires. Don't think that everybody is in this business just to make a bundle of money, although that doesn't hurt. An example, I haven't asked Danny this, but I know what his why is. It's more than this business. They're in the ministry. Their why is building kingdom makers. That's exactly what they do. They're kingdom makers, and it takes money to do that. And they want to do it on a bigger scale than they're doing it now. So the why is very important. If your why is very small, you better rethink it because you're going to run into some obstacles and roadblocks. Anyway, I really dig deep on the why, and then I dig deep on getting started the proper way. The proper way is number one, enrolling for at championmakers.com. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
You don't go out and start talking to people until you've done that. And when you've done that, then all of the tools opens up to you. And then I teach you some approaches. We can tell them A, B, and C, but a lot of times they don't know how to do it. They don't know what to say, and I teach them what to say uh, to get that video in front of the prospects, so that they know what to do. I teach them the sales funnel. The sales funnel is like this. Okay, I teach them that sales funnel has to be full. It must be full so that they'll drop out the bottom. And I teach them how to put people in that sales funnel. I teach them how to fill it real quick. In 60 days, have that sales funnel so packed that prospects are falling out the funnel at the bottom. So those are the things I teach somebody right up front, and I teach them what to say when they're talking to their friends because they're scared. They don't know what to say. I teach them to say something like this, Danny. Hey, Danny, this is Donnie. Look, Danny, I came across something recently that absolutely blew my mind. And I couldn't help but think of you because I know you are really fond of new ideas. If I send you over a 3 to 4 minute video, will you take a look at it for me? And I wait for an answer. And normally the answer is, sure, what is it? I say, look, it's easier for me to show you than it is to tell you. So I'll send it over. Can you watch it right now? Yes. Okay, I'll call you in 15 minutes. Bang. I've got the video. There's a person that goes into the sales funnel. So I teach the new people how to do that so that they've got some work, they've got some things to work with right out of the chute, Danny.
Okay, so and what are you sending when you say I'm gonna send you a three-minute video? What does that
Oh,
mean?
okay. Well, I've got a couple of favorite videos that I use. Uh, I like the corporate video where the old couple's going down and and is talking about as people get older they like to do things and things. So I send them that, and I might send them the new one I like to send is the Canadian doctor that was on. That is the most awesome testimony there is. But I send them a video that basically talks about the technology. It might touch a little bit on the business, but mostly the technology. And I don't send them anything else. And then if they inquire, if they show any interest, I'll send them maybe the doctor panel testimony or thisisitinfo.com. I'll tell them, say, look, you can dig as deep as you want to with thisisitinfo.com. It's all there. There's nothing hidden. So dig as deep as you want to. And then I just follow up with them from those, Danny.
Okay. So guys, what he's saying, it's not always the same, and I would tell you the same thing. It's not always the exact same for everybody. Sometimes like this is it info.com. That's our one-page landing page. This has got a wealth of information on it. This is one of your main digital marketing tools that you're going to send people. And you're going to tell them why you're sending it to them. I had a conversation with one of my ex-athletes yesterday from the 1990s. And I told him, I said, Sam, here's what I'm going to be sending you. And this is what it's called. And this is what I want you to see when you see this landing page. And his wife's a pediatrician. And I said, and there's a medical doctor section on there. And, she can look at the medical doctor section as well. And here's what I want you to look at. And then I said, then I'm going to send you, because your wife's a pediatrician, I'm going to send you a YouTube video of David Schmidt talking to doctors and healthcare professionals, because that's why we know when we say arm yourself with tools. See, I don't have to tell Sam have all the answers. All I got to do is know where they're at. So I can go, David Schmidt addresses healthcare professionals. I already know where it is. It's 36 minutes. And I click on there and I copy it right there and I paste it and I send it to Sam yesterday. So his wife, who's a pediatrician, can see David Schmidt teaching about it. So it's different for everybody. You really have to arm yourself with the tools. So you know what Donnie's saying is send them that 3-minute video, send them that 4-minute video, send them thisisitinfo.com, but let them know what's coming to them. Let them know there's a testimonial section. Look right up here, testimonials, where they can click on different testimonials. You can pull testimonial clips out of YouTube, out of our school, because that's one of my big things is I will send them thisisitinfo.com and 2 testimonies from school. A lot of times I'll send them 2 testimonies from school first, where they just get 2 little videos, like a 2.5-minute one and a 4-minute one of something that's going to rock their world. And then I send them thisisitinfo.com where they can watch even more. And I have tons of success with just sending 2 little videos to get them warmed up and get them to see a miracle, and then get them the information like this that's in their hands. They can go up here and click on patents and studies. I mean, there's just so much information there that it's ridiculous. And then what Donnie's talking about is there's incredible videos like Dr. Rachel Maurice right here. Last night I checked this. We did this call Wednesday night with Dr. Rachel Maurice, this particular one right here. And I pulled her clip out and narrowed it, just pulled her testimony out. And it's already had almost 1,200 views on YouTube since Wednesday night on our team. So I know that's working. That's why Donnie even said, I like to send that video. So you'll use those kind of things. It's just knowing. You start studying and you keep up with what's going on. And you're going to be amazed at how efficient you can be when you reach out to people. But don't forget what Donnie said. Donnie, I want you to go over it again. Tell these guys they're brand new. Put the words in their mouth again. Now that they've seen some of the tools, let's backtrack. Put the words in their mouth again.
Okay. Here's what I want you to do. Number one, I want you, I relate all of this to filling my funnel, and that's by talking to people. When you pick up the phone and call someone, here's what I want you to do. I want you to say, "Hey, Danny, this is Donnie. Danny, I uncovered something in the last day or so that absolutely blew my mind. I couldn't help but think about you because you're always intrigued with new things. Danny, if I send you over a short 3 to 4 minute video, will you watch it for me?" And Danny's probably going to say, now this works good on people you know. Danny's probably going to say, "Well, sure, what is it?" I said, "Danny, it's easier for me to show you than to try to tell you about it. I'm going to send it over right now. Can you watch it right now? It's just 3 or 4 minutes." "Okay, great. I'll call you in about 15 minutes. Okay." And you hang up. You got to stop talking right then. Don't hang on with him and say, "Oh, you got to really, you can't believe blah blah blah." Stop talking right then and get the video to him and let him see what you saw and see if he has the same reaction to what you saw. That'll build you a huge funnel full of prospects. Because once that video goes out, uh, they go in the funnel for me, and they're going to get they're going to get leaked on, get dripped on. They're going to get dripped on for the rest of their lives. There's only two ways they get out of that funnel: either you boot them out or they drop out. And I
Yeah.
want them to drop out. Okay, so that's what I teach people to do, Danny.
Okay, that's perfect because it leads us right into what everybody needs to know today about the business. We have a system, and our system, we believe our system is, I mean, Donnie has told me out of his 30 years in the industry, he's never seen a better system. And
No,
I mean, that's from a guy that's authored multiple books, made millions and millions of dollars in this industry, saying, and he's 81 years old, saying, "I've never seen a system like this in my life." Is that
never.
true, Donnie?
Never, never. Not even close. Whether it's the corporate world where I was spending hundreds, well, almost $2 million for 3 franchises, and they didn't have anything like this, and certainly not a network marketing company. It's unbelievable. Me and my friend Steve talk about it all the time. The work's already done for us. All we got to do is get in and talk.
Okay, so let's show them real quick. What's the system? Guys, it's this simple. It's like you walk into an In-N-Out burger and you already know that's simple. They only have one or two options, and they have French fries and drinks, and they just spit it out. An In-N-Out burger is probably the most popular burger franchise in the United States of America because of their system. And like if but they have other things? Yeah, just like you walk into In-N-Out Burger, you can get an animal burger or whatever. Like if you don't want bread, you can get a burger that's just for carnivores with a lettuce wrap burger. You know what? That's not on the menu. You know why? Because that's not what they're focused on. That's not what they're teaching. I mean, that's not what they're trying to get you to see. Our menu is X39. That's our menu. And now we have other patches, but that's like the animal burger. If you really want it, we can show you how to get it, but our focus is X39 because the system is built around X39. Because the X39 represents 86% of the company's sales. It represents all of the growth the company's had since 2020. It's gone from a $20 million company to a $600 million company last year. That has us on a rocket ship ride. Okay, this is the life-changing product, X39. So if you stick with one thing and keep it simple, you're gonna do well. So the question is, how many people do you talk to every day? How many people do you follow up with every day? And how many people do you invite to a Zoom each week? This is the system. Connect with X amount of people, talk to X amount of people, follow up with X amount of people, and invite X amount of people to a Zoom every single week. Okay, it's every day. How many people you talk to a day? How many you follow up with a day? How many you invite to Zoom for the week? Okay, so that's the system. It's that simple. Now,
Danny,
go ahead.
yeah, let me insert something here. And that's a great system. And I keep, yes, we got to get them invited to it. But normally, before you can get them invited to a Zoom, normally you're gonna make your first approach to them. They're gonna do what I call drop into the funnel after you've sent the video. And here's what I like to teach people: you need to get that funnel filled quickly, and I can teach you how to do it right now. Here's how you do it. Minimally, you need to commit to sending 2 videos a day. That means you need to talk to 2 people that use the approach that I kind of showed you and send a video. You need to do 2 of those a day. And at the end of 30 days, you've done 60 people that are in your funnel. At the end of 60 days, you've got 120 people into your funnel. So you can have a big giant group of people that now you're inviting to the Zooms to see the live presentation. But that's how easy it is to fill that funnel so that you really got something to work with, Danny. 2 a day.
See, see, Donnie knows numbers. You know, if you're in this industry long enough, like we've been, it's the law of large numbers. And it's about understanding how two people a day can compound and change your life forever as you change their life. Two becomes four, four becomes six, becomes eight, and then it starts multiplying. That's why you're looking at the daily method of operation sheet right now. Because if you set a goal and you said, hey, Danny, can you show me how to get to $5,000 a month in 6 months part-time? I go, yeah. Okay. So here's one of the things we're going to need to do. You know, you're going to have a daily method of operation based on a 5-day work week that's going to be probably talking to at least 3 people per day. And you're going to follow up with at least 3 people per day. And you're going to invite at least 3 people per week onto a Zoom. And you're going to know our Zoom schedule. You know, the Monday night Zooms, the ladies Zoom on Tuesday, our Wednesday night X39 Zooms, our Friday Lifeway business presentation Zooms, and and our team Zoom on Sunday night and our Saturday trainings. You're gonna funnel people into those Zooms. And I'm gonna give you my 2 cents on inviting somebody in just a second. But it's knowing your numbers. So you can't, I don't think you can make $5,000 a month in 6 months unless you have the discipline of talking to at least 3 people a day, following up 3 people a day, inviting 3 people a day to a Zoom. So you got to know your numbers. If you said, Danny, show me how to get to 10 grand a month in 6 months, I'm going to up it. I'm going to say, hey, well, you need to probably be talking to about 7 people a day and following up with 7 people a day. And you might be thinking, how do I talk to 7 people a day? Well, if you do it like Donnie Anderson, it's simple. It's short conversations and dripping with videos. Short conversation, dripping with videos. Hey, I don't have much time. I don't want to take a lot of your time, but here's what I want to send you. You've got to check this out. And here's why I want you to check this out. Can I count on you to do that? And so it's very simple, short conversations, but you have a lot of directness with the right tone and passion. And when you do that, people respond, they'll watch the videos and you follow up. Anything, Donnie?
Nope, that's good.
Okay, so what I want to do right now is, let me give you a couple of I'm not the greatest role player in the world, but let's talk about the people that you want on this journey with you. We all have people that you're thinking, man, if I could just get Donnie in. I mean, if Donnie would go with me, if Steve would go with me, if Sharon would go with me, if Julie would go with me. I mean, those are the people I want in my business because those are the people these are my friends. These are the people I know and love. Okay. If I'm calling those people, then when I call Donnie, I'm going to say, hey, Donnie, this is Danny. And we get through any small talk very quickly. I'm going to say, there's a reason I called you. And the reason I called you is, Donnie, I just got introduced to a business that has absolutely blown me away. In fact, I believe it's quite potentially the most unbelievable business model I've ever seen in my life. And I'm getting involved. And not only am I getting involved, I just got involved. And you know what? If everything goes the way I believe it's going to go, here's what my plan is over the next year. And the reason I know that is because here's who's helping me. Here's what's happening with them. Here's who is helping them. Here's what's happening with them. Meaning, I got a buddy, Andy, and he's who got me involved. He's been doing this for 5.5 months. He made $16,000 last month. And the leaders that are leading them, they've been in 13 months. They're making $200,000 a month right now. Now, I can't guarantee you're going to make that, but what I guarantee you is something's going on here and it's moving fast and you've got to see this with your own eyes. Because if everything goes the way I believe it's going to go, me and Diane, here's what's going to happen to us over the next year. And you're the variable here, but you've got to see this because I don't want you kicking me in the rear 6 months from now, saying, how come you didn't call me, when I'm crushing this business? You've got to see it for yourself. Can I count on you to just take a look at this thing? Because I'm new. I don't want to butcher it. Now, just think, I'm role playing, so I'm just giving you ideas. it's okay to say, I'm new. I don't understand it all yet. I don't see, it's like when we see an investment, we know we just like, oh, I love that investment. I don't know all the details yet, but wow, I wish I had 8 friends that are looking at this investment that you just showed me, when some investor shows you something. But it's the same concept. Hey, I don't have all the answers yet, and I'm brand new, and so I'm not going to butcher it. I'm not going to do that. That'd be a disservice to you. What I need you to do is this. What do you do? Can you jump on this Zoom at 8 o'clock tonight? I got a Zoom I need you to be on so you can check this out. And they go, yeah, sure. Okay. I'm going to send you the link. So you send them the Zoom and then you follow up. And if they didn't get on the Zoom, then you go, that's okay. I'm going to send you the recording. And then you send the recording of the Zoom and follow up and make sure they watch it because they're your friend. They said they would watch it because you told them, I need you to look at this. You owe it to yourself, Donnie. You don't owe it. You don't owe me anything. I don't need your support. I don't need to sell you anything. You owe it to yourself to see this with your own eyes. You got to start getting stronger about these issues. You got to get stronger in life about this. Number one, you don't need anyone's support. That's a joke. If you start running around telling everybody, you're new, hey, I'd like for you to support me in this and blah, blah, blah. That's weakness. That's meaning you're wanting something from them instead of them needing something from you. Another thing, it's I'm good at telling people I don't need to sell you anything. This is going to change your life. I'm telling you. And they can feel that. They can feel that I don't need them and I don't need their sale. I'm bringing something to them that's life-changing. They need to see it with their own eyes. I don't have all the answers, but we've got the information for you, and it's on a Zoom. You got to get on this Zoom. Or it's a 3-way phone call where you got to get on the phone with my sponsor. You say my mentor or my friend, and they hey, they've been in this business for 90 days or a year or whatever. They can tell you exactly what's happening and lay it out to you and tell you their story. Yeah.
Listen, you nailed it. You nailed it. Because what I was going to say is you have to have a very, very great posture when you're approaching people, whether it's on the phone or whether it's in person. You got to know what you're going to say when you come face to face with someone. You can't stand there and trying to think about what you're going to say. You got to know what you're going to say, whether it's a personal friend or whether it's a stranger. You got to know what approach you're going to use and what you're going to say. And as Danny said, you got to be strong with this. When you're strong with it and you have the posture that the successful people I know have, people are going to listen to you. Yeah, you're right. You can't back into it, Danny. Not at all. You got to practice. Listen, there in the school, there's suggested approaches you can use. And whatever you use, you need to practice it. You need to know it so that when you do open your mouth for someone, it comes out as smooth as it can be. It doesn't have to be scripted or a pitch. It can be very natural. You just need to know what you're going to say and understand your conversation that's going to be there and have a real strong posture. And if you're in front of someone, you need to pay attention to how you're dressed. Okay, people want to follow someone that's going somewhere and looks like they're going somewhere. That's all I wanted to add there, Danny.
Well, that's important. Even when we're on Zooms.
Yeah,
It-
absolutely.
It's very important.
Don't pull out your bowl of cornflakes and start eating them on Zoom.
Yeah.
If you got to do that, put a Band-Aid over the over the camera. Don't do that.
Yeah.
This is a business meeting.
Yep. If I wear a non-collared shirt, like a t-shirt like this,
But
it's going to be a nicer version. I'm not going to wear a junky t-shirt,
yeah,
and not if I'm presenting. It's got to be because that person on the other line, I can't afford to lose them. I'm
no,
not going to put a baseball cap on backwards. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but what if the person I'm talking to thinks you're an idiot if you have a baseball cap on backwards? They're judging you. You have to be smart. You have to be wise and know that people are watching you. Don't give them any reason not to follow you or be unattracted to you. Take care of business because you are in a business. This is very important. Thank you, Donnie. We could train on that for an hour
yeah,
because that's a big one. Okay, we're going to start closing this down. But let's go over the 2020 principle to send you guys out of here today. Now, the 2020 principle is going, this relates back to manager, director, and senior director on how to build the binary. You already know how to change your settings. We showed you that. Okay, so your philosophy is, and it will always be, you're going to build 20 on your right and 20 on your left minimum. Now, that someone could get 200 on the right and 200 on the left. Someone could get 100 on the right, 100 on the left, or 10 on the right, 10 on the left, or 5 on the right, 5 on the left. But you're teaching the vision of put 20 people, enroll 20 people on your right and 20 people on your left as you go in this business. And it will never be picture perfect, like right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. It doesn't have to be that way. It's just but just know that everyone you ever enroll is going to go on your outside right or outside left. And what it will do, it will begin. This would be if I put you on my right team and you're my friend, you're going to start building 20 right, 20 left. But it'll never look like that because you're going to build a team. And when you build a team, it multiplies. And so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this today because we have trainings on this. You want to go in and watch these comp plan trainings and the basic trainings. But it's really simple. If I put you on my left, see, it wasn't you just doing 20 and 20. It was actually you and your team. As you're bringing people in, they're duplicating the same process. It's just you're seeing your two big lines. Your two big lines are multicolored because you enroll somebody, I enroll somebody underneath you, I enroll somebody underneath them, your person enrolls somebody else, you enroll somebody else, and it starts multiplying, and we call it waterfalling or compounding, either way. And all those inside colors that are solid, like the solid purple and the solid green and the solid blue and the solid pink, those won't be solid. That just represents the fact that those people that you enrolled are also building 20 on their right and 20 on their left. And it represents the fact that they're building. I'm showing you the two big long strands to show how your strategy is. That's your strategy right there. And your strategy will start looking like that because it's a multiplying, compounding, waterfalling method of building. It's that simple. Outside right, outside left. Everybody else, outside right, outside left. So just look, if I put you on my outside left, that means your purple friend you put in is outside left. And if I put someone else in on the left, see, we're all sharing the same outside left. But your purple friend is now building a new right team. Your purple friend is not sharing your right team, nor my right team. See, you don't share my right team because I didn't put you on my right. And then your purple friend that you put in, they don't share your right team. They're building a new right team to multiply it, compound it, and waterfall it. So that's the 2020 principle. And that leads you to manager, which leads you to, director, which leads you to senior director. And it helps you begin to build like you need to build. Okay, Donnie, any last thoughts before we go today that we're missing that a new person needs to hear?
No, the only thing that I would add to everything that we've said is that not only new people, the more you plug in, the better you become. There are Zooms almost every night of the week. And another portion of school is the calendar, which shows you who's doing a Zoom and when it's going to take place. So there's almost every night, every day, a place for you to take a prospect to. I'm blown away at the system. I got to tell y'all, I'm blown away. So plug in. When you're sitting at home, you're not doing anything. Instead of watching that income reducer, turn it off and log on to the Zoom. And if you sponsor new brand partners in the business and you just flat leave them alone, number one, they're not going to last very long. So when you sponsor someone, you got to touch bases with them on the phone, not just texting them, and you need to do it every day for a while so that they know that they're part of this and they keep connected. Next, you've got to insert them into the Zooms. You got to insert them into the Zooms. When they get when they get close to the fire, they get hot. But when they get away from the fire, they don't. They get cold. So keep them on the Zooms, plugged into the system, and you probably got a partner that's going to stick in there with you. Okay. that's kind of it for me, Danny.
That is it. It's a commitment of even understanding a franchise. You know, Donnie and Susan were former franchise owners. If you owned an In-N-Out burger or a Freddy Steak Burger or even a Chick-fil-A, there are hundreds of hours of on-the-job training. Hundreds. Or you don't, or your franchise is kaput. You are required for minimal classroom hours for every franchise in America, and you are required for hundreds of hours of on-the-job training. And that's because I'll leave you with this today, for those of you who haven't heard it, because I'm going to beat this drum until it gets in everybody in our team's head. You know, the problem with the two biggest cons or negatives about direct selling are really not negatives, but they are negatives because people quit. And the two biggest negatives about our industry is this: there is a very small investment. It's tiny. Your investment is tiny. You can't go. People who say I went into debt to, I lost money, they're liars. They're liars.
Yeah.
Guys, me and my wife started with $130 and we were in Chapter 13 bankruptcy in 1997 with nobody to borrow money from. And we didn't go into debt. We built a multi-million-dollar empire from 130 bucks. That can't be done with a McDonald's. You can't do that with In-N-Out. 130 bucks doesn't get you, it only gets you some burgers at the cash register is all it gets you. And then we started this business with $295 and have built it to a seven-figure income, a healthy seven-figure income in 2 years. So these people that say I lost money, or if you ever hear someone say everybody, that people fail, 99% of people fail in direct marketing and 99% of people never get their money back. And that's a lie. They're all lies. That's just stuff people say because there's quitters. You know why people quit? Because of this little tiny investment of $295 or $535 for taxes and shipping, which opens up the door for your entire business to be open forever, which is huge. You can't start a business in America for $500, folks, and you can here. And then the second negative is this big zero right here. Okay, there's no risk. Small investment, no risk. And because there's a small investment and no risk, most people are lazy and most people are undisciplined and don't have the teachability and coachability to get their tail end on school and start learning, watching the videos and learn, and then apply those things that they learn and make the phone calls and get people into the sales funnel like Donnie was talking about and start working toward their better future. Because all of that has to do with changing people's lives. We're sitting here with this patch, this X39 patch, that we can not only run up the flagpole if we're just talking about the patch unemotionally, but if we're talking about it emotionally, we're talking about a technology, a device that you're going to stick on other people, that you're going to literally change and transform the lives of either tens, hundreds of people around you, or thousands of people around you, or millions of people around you. You have a life-changing technology on your hands. And that should make you proud and passionate and bold to go share the story. So guys, get in that classroom, start learning how to package your story. See, we didn't even teach you that today. There's other things you need to learn. Watch these classrooms, and especially the top 3 up there, and watch how fast you can start moving in this business if you apply those things. Donnie, appreciate you being on here helping today. And
Enjoyed it.
guys, y'all have a great weekend. God bless you. Thanks for joining us.
All right. Bye, everyone.